Yo, what's going on, boys? It's Charlie here with another video. This video is going to be over pretty much why you need selfishness in every single game of life you play for you to truly succeed. And I don't say this like at random, okay? I have so many examples, guys, that it's literally uncountable how many times that I get reminded, like, it really pays to be selfish in this game, okay? Trading is the main one. Yes, of course, right? We know 1% of traders actually make it. You think that top 1% is listening to everyone else's opinions on what they should target, what pairs they should trade, what strategy they should use, what time to wake up in the morning, what time to do this, what time to do that? No. They found what works for them. They're selfish about themselves, right? They put in the work about themselves. They put their work above everyone else's other opinions, and they succeeded. That's why there's a 1%, right? Same thing, let's say NBA, right? 1%. Very small percentile of people make it into the NBA. Do you think they listen to everyone else's opinions on, hey, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should dribble this way, or maybe you should do this? No, they do what works best for them. And they're selfish, right? They put their work above other people's opinions, find out what works for them, and they do it. And when it works for them and someone else tells them, hey, you should do this, as they're in a lower place and they have no experience, they don't listen to them. And that's the exact thing you need in trading, guys. I had the same thing with, like, let's say a life example, let's say lifting, for example, right? When I first started lifting, I used to be super, super small. I used to be skinny, right? I used to be tiny. Okay, what I get told, hey, you should eat this way. You should do these workouts. You should do this pre-workout. You should do this after you lift. You should do this, this. And people telling you that are out of shape or ripping steroids or SARMs, and they don't actually realize what it takes, like, naturally to build up a body, right? So normal person just listens to those opinions, starts doing that stuff. Guys, pre-workout's absolutely horrible for you. Kills you. It's horrible for you. Okay? Like, that's just one example. So then you start doing it yourself. You're like, oh, wow, like, I should start eating this way. I feel better when I eat this way. I should do these workouts because, they hit these muscles a certain way. And, maybe I don't do pre-workout. Maybe I just drink coffee before I lift, because coffee is absolutely amazing for you. 2 to 3 cups of coffee reduces your risk of a heart attack by 20% and a stroke by 20%. Look that up. That's a real study that just came out. Right? Maybe I should be doing that instead of sugar-filled pre-workout. Find your own stuff that works for you, okay? And when it starts yielding results, like it did for me, you start realizing, hey, again, this is a selfish game. If I would have listened to everyone else, I would not be in the position I am right now, right? You need to figure stuff out on your own. That's the only way you're ever going to learn, So I did that. I tested all these different things out myself, and I started seeing results in the gym. I started, getting bigger. I could lift more weights, and pretty soon you get to a point where I'm like, wow, I can bench an insane amount for my weight. I'm blowing all these people out of the water, which was actually telling me what to do. And look at me, I'm in better shape than all of these other people that was telling me what to do. Okay? So, be selfish. I mean that truthfully. I mean, I know it's sad, but like figure out, what I'm trying to say is it's more or less selfish. It's more of just find out what works for you and don't listen to other people's opinions, okay? Find out what works for you. Don't listen to other people's opinions. So that's one example, right? So another thing is, like, I have a business. I have an outside business, right? I don't want to drop any names or anything like that, but it's a partnership, whereas, like, I do 90% of the stuff, right? I do all the talking, I do all the interactions, like stuff like that, right? And for example, maybe we get a contract or something, and we're doing deals with these clients, let's say, for prices, okay? And someone else that doesn't really have the experience that you have, because you're doing all the work, you understand how these clients work, you understand how these business deals work. They're like, hey, you should just charge this much, we should do this, we should do it this way. As they don't know anything, they don't do anything. Whereas you're like, I think we should do it this way because I have more experience. I talk to a lot of these clients. I do this, all that stuff, right? And if you listen to them, then you'll get put into a lower place. Whereas you take your own initiative, from your own experience, and you're like, maybe we should charge this much for this client, right? And you raise the price, you start charging this much, and the client's happy. You're doing good work, client's happy, it's a fair price to charge because you've had more experience than these other people. Guess what? Now you're making double the money you would have made by listening to another person. That is another example. And that is one example. I have countless, okay? And I don't want to get into it. But there's so many times that if you don't listen to yourself, and trust me, before I used to not listen to myself. I used to listen to other people's opinions, and that's where you get cooked because you have to learn that lesson the hard way. That's the truth of it, okay? You have to learn the lesson the hard way, or else you will not learn. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, it's smarter to make your own decisions on stuff, and it literally saved me time again. So just listen to your own opinions, right? If someone wants to come along and try to help you, right? They've had more experience than you, and they're like, hey, I think you should do it this way. Cool. Look into that, and then if it works, do it, right? People can help you. It's not like people text you and say, hey, you should do this, and be like, no, screw off. As they're in a way better position, they're just trying to help you, right? That's completely different. But what I'm saying is, if you're you're in a better position, you've done something a lot more, you've done a lot more repetitions on something, and someone comes along that's in a worse place than you, and they're like, hey, you should do it this way, you can sit there and be like, no, I know that this works for me. I've had more repetitions. I made more money doing this. This works for me. I'm going to do it this way. And that example I just gave can go for anything. Again, like lifting, getting in shape, business side of things. Trading's the biggest one, guys. So trading is another one. That's pretty much the biggest one, right? If you listen to other people's opinions, you're not going to have confidence. You're not going to have conviction. You're not going to have any of these things. Okay, if someone tells you, hey, target this for TP every single time, trade on this time frame every single time, trade on this pair, cool, and you do it, and let's say you hit a losing streak, you're going to go absolutely insane because you're like, I'm losing this money, I don't know why. Whereas the other person that did their own testing, tested that pair, that time frame, maybe targeted that TP, they have all this data, and they look and they know that, hey, we're just in a losing streak. Cool, 3-4 trades and this is nothing. Maybe de-risk and just kind of wait till winning trades start coming around. Same exact process, two different outcomes because one person listened to someone's opinions and the other person followed their own opinions and did their own testing to make sure that they have the confidence and conviction that something will work out. That is the biggest thing I can give you guys because that happens so many times for me, guys. Again, I don't just trade. I have outside businesses, okay, 2 to be exact, that I've ran. And don't listen to anyone else. If someone higher above you is trying to give you help, listen to it, take it with a grain of salt, and be like, cool, thank you. Look into it yourself. And if it works, perfect. Someone just helped you, right? But again, if you're doing something for a long period of time and someone comes along that's completely new and is like, hey, you should do it this way, do not listen to them. Do not listen to them because if it's working for you, it's different if it's not working for you, but if it's working for you, keep doing what you're doing. Same thing with trading. If I'm trading for 5 years and someone comes in for 1 month and was like, hey, you should do it this way, do you think I'm even going to cross my mind to listen to them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? So that is probably the biggest thing I can give you guys is again, that happened to me in different business models outside of trading, okay? That happened to me in multiple real life scenarios just on simple things, again, like lifting, like I said. And it happens over and over and over again. You keep getting taught the same lesson. It's it just keeps reminding me, I'm like, this is the reason to do your own stuff and listen to your own analysis so you can have conviction and confidence in yourself. Okay, so this is another one, guys, and this is probably the biggest one from this video, is most help and most advice is going to come from people with fear rather than experience, I should say. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you're doing better than everyone around you, people's going to tell you that, hey, you should be careful with doing this, you shouldn't do this, why are you doing this, right? And they start feeling it in their heart and they're like, this kid's the same age as me, or they're younger than me, and they're doing more work than me. And that would literally scare someone that's arrogant, that's low IQ, and that's lazy. That scares the hell out of them. And that's when they start texting you, or they start messaging you, or they start telling you, or talk behind your back, or like, why is he doing that? Like, he's so weird, like, he should not be doing that, until it works. Until it fucking works. And then they're like, oh yeah, like, I knew that kid, like, he was always working. And then it just completely flips, right? But while you're in that outgrowing stage, and everyone else around you is lazy doing fuck all, and you start working, you start expanding, everyone else is trying to reach you and just pull you down. That is literally how it is, until you get so far that you're out of here, right? You blow them out of the water, you don't look back. Okay? And I've noticed that since I started, I still notice it now. It's not going away, right? Anyone that has no experience in something, but you're outgrowing them, you're doing more work than them, they will absolutely hate you. They will have a fire inside that they just hate you. Even if they don't say it to your face, maybe sometimes, they will absolutely hate you because you're reminding them of what they're not doing. So few people actually speak from real risk-taking in lessons, and they try to give you help, like what I am doing right now, guys. And what I'm doing right now is a very vague topic. A lot of people that have taken any risk in their life will tell you this stuff. So it's not like I'm telling you something very specific. You guys will learn this on your own. If not, you already learned it on your own. Okay, so if someone is sitting in their bedroom doing nothing, laying around all day, and let's say you have another person that's like, maybe they start like a YouTube channel and they start tracking their journey and stuff like that. The person that's doing nothing will hate your guts, and they will be like, oh my gosh, like, he's doing stuff while I'm just sitting here doing nothing. And then they'll be like, hey man, don't do that, that's risky, like, why are you doing that? You're so cringy posting on YouTube, like, why are you doing that? It's the same thing over and over and over again, because you're outgrowing them and they're doing nothing. They can't accept that fact. God literally hates the lazy, okay? He hates them, right? So use the body, use the mind that God gave you, and do amazing things, right? So everyone else that's lazy and that's doing absolutely nothing, you start to outgrow them, they absolutely hate you. But you know in your mind, you're doing the right thing for God, because He gave you this body, gave you this mind, right? And you're constantly working every single day to achieve something great, while these other people are doing absolutely nothing with their time. Absolutely nothing. They're partying, chasing girls, just absolutely nothing. Doom scrolling on TikTok. That's all they do, right? And you start expanding, you start working towards something. Maybe you're tracking progress online. You own this business. You're trading. You have investments. You're genuinely improving your life. Maybe you're getting in shape every day. They will literally hate you, and they will try to pull you back down because you're reminding them of what they're not doing. Okay, so that is probably the biggest takeaway I can give you guys. Don't listen to anyone else's advice. Just do your own thing. So another thing, this is going to tie back into trading. So you don't build skill by borrowing other people's opinions, okay? You don't build intuition by listening to other people's opinions in the market, right? The only reason I kind of have the level of intuition that I have, and of course it's only going to improve from here. I'm not saying I have an insane level of intuition. There's obviously some crazy people out there, right? I'm only 18 years old. But I've been looking at the markets, I'd say roughly 3 years now, since I was 15. Okay? I have a level of intuition where you can't get by listening to people telling you, hey, do this, or the market's going to do this. You have a level of intuition because you looked at these charts, you watched these candlesticks open and close for 3 years now. Right? Now, did I trade the same strategy for 3 years? Absolutely not, right? Everyone starts just straight up gambling, doing a bunch of random stuff, okay? Everyone starts somewhere, but point being is, again, ties back into the same situation I talked about earlier. If I'm trading for 3 years and someone comes in, or 5 or 6 months, and they start acting like they have a level of intuition that I don't have. They know the market better than I do. Truth is, no one knows what direction the market is, but you have a pretty good understanding. You only get that better understanding by pure experience, right? So if I just listen to everyone else on what trades to take, where to target my take profits, I'm going to be cooked because I have no confidence in myself when stuff hits the fan, because I don't really know the data. I don't know how to trade myself because I'm listening to other people's trades, opinions, all that stuff. So it's important to backtest yourself. It's important to just get raw market experience. That's literally all I can say. Wake up every single day, get on the charts, and watch these candles open and close. Learn how they move. Learn how we target liquidity. All this stuff like that. You're not going to learn from someone else. Yes, You can get some information from someone else, maybe someone giving you some pointer tips like, hey, even if you watch like some ICT videos, price targets liquidity because of this, it does this because of this. You can be like, oh yeah, like, that's some good info, but you really only get that knowledge by putting in the test yourself and seeing it play out over and over and over again. Then you can get that level of conviction and intuition to see that play out and understand why it plays out and why it works. So, fourth thing here is being selfish when time is literally non-negotiable, right? We only have a set amount of time, right? Realistically, we have a set amount of time, and when you're going to be working on whatever you're working on, trading, maybe a business, whatever you're working on, right? You're going to have to say no to so many things. And saying no revolves exactly right back into what I said before about people absolutely hating you because you start working and they're not working. They will absolutely hate you, right? But when you're at their level and you're drinking on the weekends, you're doing a bunch of lazy stuff, degenerate stuff, they love you, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, we're best buds, we're doing the same exact stuff, at least we're being lazy together. They feel that in their heart, like, oh, I don't have any competition to worry about. But when you start working, they're like, oh gosh, like, they're reminding me of the stuff I'm not doing. I should be doing this, but I'm just too lazy. And then I go and achieve some stuff, and they will literally just hate you with all of their heart. They will hate you, right? So being selfish is going to require a lot of, whether you have to cut off people, right? And it's not something like you go online, you make a logo, and you're like, oh, I own a business now, I can't talk to any of you guys. No, it's going to happen naturally. If you guys are truly about it and you've been doing it for years, it's going to be something that happens naturally. It sucks. Yes, it sucks, but I can already see it happening. In real life, it happens naturally, right? You start working, you start out competing other people just don't like you. It's crazy, but again, I'm following, the word of God. I'm using my body, I'm using my mind, and working each and every single day to something great, while these other people are just absolutely sloth and laziness, which literally, again, God hates. So the fact that they're hating you, that they're doing nothing and you're expanding, you're actually doing something, and they're hating you, that should not make you mad at all. If anything, that should actually give you more motivation to keep on working, because they start hating you, you're doing something right. That's literally what's happening to me nonstop. So be really, really selfish, work on yourself, and don't listen to other people's opinions that have not been in the place that you have been in, okay? So I can't stress that enough. And on top of that, having a boring routine, doing the same thing over and over and over again, yes, it sucks, but it's always going to beat the person who is constantly gambling, drinking, doing all these, different things every single day or two. They have a very exciting life, right? While you're waking up at, I'm waking up at 4:30 every day, just putting in the work, and eventually time catches up to you. And that person doing a bunch of that degenerate stuff every single day, life's gonna hit them. They're gonna be like, wow, I have no money. I'm 20-some years old. I have a college degree, which college is just about worthless, right? Inflation's absolutely outpacing my wages. What do I even do? Where you have the person that was literally working every single day. Sure, it was boring then while they were having fun, but notice how it completely flips. And that person that was doing the boring stuff every single day, waking up at 4:30 in the morning every day, putting in, 10, 12-hour work days every single day on their own craft, whether it's trading, business, anything like that, it completely flips, right? And they're set, right? They're set for life. They look back, they feel proud of themselves because of all the stuff they built, right? While the other person that was having fun in those 1 or 2 years, they're absolutely cooked for the rest of their life. And an interesting thing about this is it's not just like it flips 50-50, right? It's where you have to sacrifice a handful of years, Some people it's 2-3 years, maybe it's 4 or 5 for others. And other people will have fun for maybe 1 to 2 years, and it completely flips. You will repeat the same boring process for maybe 3 to 4 years for a lifetime of freedom, I should say, right? And a lot of people kind of heard of that phrase before, right? Where you work extremely hard 3-4 years. Yes, you cut everything off. Yes, it's boring, right? Yes, it sucks. But now you have a lifetime of freedom where you can help your family. You can travel wherever you want. You don't have to look at the price tags for anything. And most importantly, you're proud within yourself because you did something with your life. God's proud within you, right? God is proud within you for doing that. Whereas someone else who's been degenerate, does absolutely nothing, hates on you because you're expanding while they're doing nothing for 2-3 years, drinking, going after girls the whole entire time, again, being lazy, scrolling on TikTok. They're doing a bunch of this degenerate stuff for the last 2-3 years. And eventually, again, time catches up to them. They're 20 years old. They're like, wow, I don't have a life to look forward to, right? I have to go get a job. And inflation is outpacing my wages, like I was just telling you guys. Now you're cooked. So the interesting thing about it is it's such a small amount of time that you have to give up for a lifetime of freedom. Whereas, yes, they can have fun for 2 to 3 years, and they have a lifetime of just struggling to get by while they have to look at people like me that they absolutely hate, and is actually, traveling, doing this, doing that, doing this, building all these businesses. Guys, do it now and don't listen to anyone else's opinions. That's what I'm doing. And it's funny because other people that's in my same position that I talk to online or see online, they talk about the exact same things. So this isn't just me saying this. All right, guys, and the last one, 5th one, is the moment I stopped explaining my decisions and stopped telling people what I was going to do next, my life got better and I achieved a lot more in a lot faster of a time frame. What do I mean by that? I used to always, if I had an idea, I would ask other people, what do you think of this idea? Should I do this? Right? And again, a lot of it's lower quality, arrogant people that don't want to see anyone achieve more than they achieve. So they're like, nah, that's a horrible idea. Don't do that now. Too hard now. Just go get a normal job and die when you're 80. Just nah. Right? They don't want you to see you do that, right? So don't look for other people for permission to do stuff, I should say. If you have an idea, do it. And this ties back into everything I was saying. It's literally a big circle. If you have an idea, do it, and if it fails, then guess what? You learned that lesson. Now you have that lesson. So when someone else tells you should do it this way, you have that lesson. Right? You have experience of how you should do things. I tried it this way, that doesn't work. And then someone's like, hey, you should do it that same way that you failed, and you're able to sit there and be like, no, I shouldn't do it that way because I did it, X way, and it failed. It's just little things like that. Again, and that ties back into constantly failing makes you a better person. You can only fail so many times before you learn all the lessons, and then you finally click. Finally clicks. Okay? So stop looking to other people for permission, right? I had the same thing with trading, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have day ones and good friends that, I try this trading stuff, it looks too hard to them. You try to put them on and they just, no, that's too hard. Nah. They kind of give up. You shouldn't be doing that. Nah. They don't care, right? And if I give up, or even if I gave up, last 2 or 3 years, then I would be in no position right now. I'd have no life plans. I'd have no life goals. I'd be literally depressed. I wake up excited to work towards something every single day because I've built this thing for the last 3 years. I have this trading journey I've been going on for the last 3 years. And if I would have listened to someone else, if I would have listened to someone else, when I went to them, was like, hey, we should try trading, and they were like, no. And if I would have listened to them, then I would be not in the spot I am today. So do what you want to do. Don't listen to anyone else. Be selfish with your results. What I'm saying is, when you know something works for you, and it works over and over and over again, be selfish with it. No one else is coming to save you. You have to do the work to better yourself. No one is coming to save you. You have to do the work to better yourself. Okay? I cannot stress that enough because same thing happened to me in businesses. Same thing happened to me with trading, right? I have results on pairs. I always got told, I'm sure you guys know that anyone in the Discord watching, we should have been using these take profit rules or these old TP rules, right? If I would have just listened to someone, not did my own testing, then I would just do that. I did my own testing. I found out, hey, those take profit rules, whoever told me that is literally full of shit because they don't work. I found out that, hey, the strict RRs actually work better. Now I have the confidence within myself where I can place trades, and I know if 1 or 2, 1 to 4, maybe they reverse on you and you don't hit a full 1 to 4. Everyone else that listened to me say 1 to 4s are the way. Now they're like, oh, these 1 to 4s don't work. They don't understand because they didn't do the testing like I did, right? I can sit here confidently and I know it's going to work from that testing, right? Of course, market regime can change and stuff like that, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? So get your own data, believe in yourself, bet on yourself. It's a selfish game, right? No one's coming to save you. Just, again, work and work and work on yourself. Don't listen to anyone else's opinions that don't have the experience as you. I know I keep saying that same exact thing, guys, but I literally learned that so many times that I can't even stress that enough. So this is pretty much just a big yap session. Really hope you guys learned something. Take it from me. Please take this as actual advice, because this happened to me in every single realm, especially the outside business realm and this trading realm. Like I said, I have businesses outside of trading, and then I have trading. Happens to me all of the time. People that don't have the experience that I have try to tell me how to do something, and it's wrong. And you find out the way to do something is to try it on your own and learn from your own mistakes. Okay, again, be selfish. Okay? So again, that's selfish. I don't mean bash on anybody else. You guys get what I'm saying. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys learned something, and I will see you boys in the next one.